Somewhere in the future, a decision is waiting. Not a goal, not a trophy, not a highlight reel moment. Just one quiet choice that could echo louder than anything Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. ever does on a football pitch. The choice of where to go, which badge to wear, which stadium to call home. And whether that decision honors his bloodline or buries him under its weight, this is the question that football fans everywhere are already asking, even though the answer may still be years away. Ronaldo Jr. has not even turned 18 yet, and already, his name carries a gravity that most professional players never experience in their entire careers. Every training clip that surfaces online gets millions of views. Every goal he scores in youth football is analyzed, debated, and compared. And behind all of that noise, one conversation keeps rising to the surface. Where will he go when the time comes? Which club will be the one to sign him? And why does the name Real Madrid keep appearing in almost every single discussion? To understand why this matters so much, you have to understand what Real Madrid represents in the story of Cristiano Ronaldo. It was not just a club for him. It was the stage where he became immortal. 9 years, 450 goals, 4 Champions League titles, records that may never be broken. When people talk about the greatest version of Cristiano Ronaldo, they are almost always talking about the man who wore the white shirt. Real Madrid was where the legend was built. And for many fans, the idea of Ronaldo Jr. walking through those same doors one day is not just exciting. It feels like destiny. The image alone is powerful enough to make you pause. A young man with the same last name, the same competitive fire, stepping onto the Santiago Bernabeu pitch for the first time. The crowd chanting a name they already know by heart. The cameras flashing, the emotion in the air. It would be one of the most talked about moments in modern football history, even before a single ball is kicked. Real Madrid is not just a football club. It is a global institution, a brand, a machine built to attract the best in the world and turn them into icons. The infrastructure is elite. The youth system is among the finest on the planet, and the visibility that comes with wearing that jersey is unmatched. For a young player trying to build a career and a legacy of his own, there may not be a bigger stage available anywhere. But that is only the dream side of the story. Because football at its core does not care about last names. It does not care about legacies or emotional narratives. The pitch is ruthless. And Real Madrid, more than almost any other club, demands excellence from every player who walks through its doors. You do not earn a place at that club because of who your father is. You earn it because you are undeniable. Because your talent speaks louder than your story. And this is where things get more complicated for Ronaldo Jr. He is talented. That much is clear from the footage, from the reports, from the people who have watched him play up close. But being talented and being Real Madrid ready are two very different things. The gap between youth football and professional football at that level is enormous. And no amount of fame, branding, or family connection can close that gap unless the player himself is ready. What people rarely think about is the number of famous football sons who were given opportunities at massive clubs too early, before they were truly prepared. Some of them crumbled under the expectation. Others were overshadowed by the comparisons and never found their own identity. The ones who succeeded almost always had something in common. They chose environments that prioritized their development over their marketability. So while Real Madrid may be the most exciting option, it may not be the smartest one, at least not immediately. There are other pathways that could shape Ronaldo Jr. into a more complete player before he ever steps foot in a place like Madrid. Staying in a structured academy environment where the focus is on growth, repetition, and tactical maturity could be far more valuable in the long run. Some of the best players in the world did not start at the biggest clubs. They started at clubs that gave them time and space to develop without the crushing weight of global expectation. According to people close to the family, there is a strong awareness of this. Cristiano Ronaldo himself understands the difference between exposure and development. He lived it. He experienced what it means to grow inside a system that challenges you daily. And many believe he wants that same kind of structured, high-level growth for his son. Not just fame, not just attention, but real, meaningful football education. There are clubs connected to Ronaldo's current network that could offer exactly that. Teams where the coaching staff understands elite mentality, where the facilities rival the best in the world, and where a young player can be pushed hard without being thrown into the spotlight before he is ready. These clubs may not have the glamour of Real Madrid, But they have something arguably more important for a teenager. They have patience. From the outside, it looks like Ronaldo Jr. is being carefully guided. His football journey so far has not been reckless or rushed. There's been a deliberate quality to the decisions made around him. And that gives reason to believe that whatever club he eventually joins, it will not be a decision made for headlines. It will be a decision made for his future. But here's what makes this whole situation even more intense. For Ronaldo Jr., choosing a club is not just about football tactics or development plans. It is about identity. Every club he joins will immediately trigger comparisons. If he goes to Real Madrid, people will expect him to be the next Cristiano. If he goes somewhere else, people will ask why he was not good enough for Madrid. There is no neutral ground. Every choice carries emotional weight. And that is the part of this story that most people overlook. Behind the skills, behind the clips, behind the last name, there is a young person navigating something incredibly complex. The pressure of being Ronaldo's son is not something you can train for. It is not something a coach can prepare you for. It lives in every conversation, every headline, every glance from a stranger who already thinks they know who you are supposed to become. The biggest question might not be which club wants him, it might be which club truly understands him. Which environment will let him fail without judgment? Which coaching staff will see him as a player, not a product? Which club culture will protect his confidence while pushing his limits? That is what matters most at this stage. Not the size of the stadium or the number of followers on the club's social media page. Some people think Ronaldo Jr. will eventually end up at Real Madrid regardless, because the pull of that story is simply too strong. The club would benefit massively from the attention. The fans would embrace him instantly. And the emotional connection between the Ronaldo name and that white jersey is something that transcends football logic. But others believe a quieter, more calculated path would serve him better. A move to a club where he can grow out of the spotlight, where he can make mistakes without the whole world watching, where his development is the priority, not his last name. Both sides have a point, and that is what makes this decision so fascinating. There is no obvious right answer. There is only the answer that fits who Ronaldo Jr. truly wants to be. Not who the world expects him to be, not who the internet wants him to be, but who he is when the cameras are off, when the pressure fades, and when it is just him and the ball. Real Madrid may be the dream that fans imagine when they close their eyes and picture the perfect ending to this story. And maybe one day, that dream becomes real. But the truth is, Ronaldo Jr.'s future club should be the one that gives him the best chance to become himself. Not a copy, not a sequel, not a tribute, just a player who earned his place on his own terms. And that might be the most exciting part of all. We do not know how this story ends yet, but we know it is going to be worth watching. If this video made you think, drop a comment below telling us which club you believe would be the best fit for Ronaldo Jr. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this one, and subscribe if you want to stay close to every chapter of this incredible journey. We will see you in the next one.